So I'm out here in Golden Gate Park, and just thinking about human identity and humanity's relationship to Earth. 'Cause, there's an ideological culture war playing out. I got myself a little tangled in it after posting this video about climate change, which apparently, um, even though all the scientists pretty much agree about it, it's no longer a scientific issue. It's a cultural issue. It's a political issue. It's even a religious issue. And I guess that's not too surprising. I've always thought that science as a practice of rational, logical, mathematical, and experimental inquiry, while we can purify it more or less, it's never unsullied, if you excuse my metaphor, by cultural interests and ideology and economics and religion. Science takes place, like everything else that we human beings do, within this really messy psychological and sociological and economic and political context, etc. So that climate change should be an issue that allows these conspiracies to emerge in the libertarian wing of conservative America, where the UN in 1992 passes this non-binding. It's not even a resolution. It's just an agenda, a set of recommendations for various nations to begin to ecologize our economy and to begin to decolonialize our economic situation, to decolonialize the power relations, which have only very recently been called into question. Our whole global capitalist market, if you recall, began during the British colonial era, when we're really going over, invading these foreign exotic lands, enslaving their people, and stealing their resources. And we European white people amassed a great deal of wealth doing this. The United States continued to do this longer than any other nation, and in fact we are still continuing to do it. And the UN is a world power that's not centered in any national identity, not hindered by any national identity, and it's trying to do things and exert power in such a way that we become a planetary people rather than remain nationalistic or racist or classist in our orientation. And it's a painful process, and it will continue to be a painful process, because many of us, myself included, we're still rooted in these old world ideologies. I'm an American, and yeah, of course, part of my identity, part of my sense of who I am has to do with the fact that I'm an American, right? And I'm a white male with Jewish ancestry and Middle American Protestant ancestry, and those things define me in a certain way. But I'm also, for the last 4 billion years, the matter that makes up my body has been part of this earth, and we've all evolved from one or a few original forms of a very simple life, and now here we are. And even before that, we're part of this universe, right? The matter and energy and sentience, feeling that makes us up has been here since the beginning of the universe, 14 billion years ago. So these are our larger spheres of identity, right? And here we are in 2012 arguing on the internet about whether or not we need to pay attention to the way we inhabit the earth, to our effects on other creatures that also happen to inhabit the earth. There's a whole Earth community that has nothing to do with human beings. And it's going to be really painful for us to check our sense of centrality, and learn how to get along within this larger community. We don't have much more time to learn. The learning curve is pretty steep at this point because our civilization is very fragile, and Gaia is not as fragile as some environmentalists would make us seem. Life on this planet is very resilient. Mammals, the kind of life that human beings pay most attention to, are actually, Gaia just needs to shrug her shoulders, and mammals will go extinct, right? And the more foundational life systems that are made up of bacteria and plants will be just fine. Mammals are in no way essential to the life of this Gaian system within which we are embedded. We are decoration, but if we want to remain here to be decoration, we've got to learn how to get along with the rest of this giant living creature, this giant Gaian cell that we exist within, right? The Earth isn't just land out there waiting to be owned by human agents. To the extent that we survive here, it is because the land is patient with us, in a sense. But we're behaving in a very risky way. And we ought to start recognizing that. It's pretty hard not to recognize it, isn't it? There's no more North Pole. The oceans are empty of fish. We just have to look around and take off our anthropocentric blinders and just see where we are. And if we can see where we are, I think we won't need bread and circus, junk food and entertainment to keep us interested in life, because we'll see that the life all around us is an amazing celebration of creativity. It's an adventure that we can join again if we stop being so solipsistic and self-obsessed. So let's talk about how we can start doing that.